Today we bought 3 broken NESs and we are going to try and fix them. So, spoiler alert, all 3 of them had the exact same problem. So we're going to go through and show you how to tear them down. So first we're going to show you how to kind of clean these games. So you take them apart. It's 3 game-bit screws. Sometimes there's the 5-screw variant. I think most of the games we have is 3-bit. This one actually had a busted piece of plastic, so we wanted to pull that out and see what was going on, and then we ended up gluing that piece of plastic back on. So here is one of the NESs. We're going to show you how to tear it down. So you just have 6 Phillips head screws. Pop those off. And then the bottom shell just comes up. It's got everything. You can flip it around too and take the top shell off. Doesn't matter, because everything's screwed down very securely. And then around the perimeter on this heat shield, you have this heat cover. You have a whole bunch of more Phillips head screws. So you got to get all those off, and then it reveals the motherboard and the housing for the game. So you can pull that out. There's, I believe, another 6 screws holding that down, and then it slides off, revealing the pin connector and the motherboard. So you have to get the rest of the screws out. You got to get the motherboard all the way out so you can pull off the pin connector. It just pulls off. You're going to feel like you're breaking something, but you're not. Just pull the pin connector off. So these pin connectors are a pain. They're incredibly hard to clean, and it's almost not worth it. Sometimes you got bent pins, or you've got rust and dirt and grime in there, or corrosion, and it's not good. They usually don't work. So you just want to use a little bit of IPA. Like I said, all this is really hard to clean, but you want to get those pin connectors clean and the motherboard clean too. So we're going to try the boiling method with these. You just throw them in boiling water, you boil them for about 5 minutes, and then hopefully they're going to work at that point.
So you press it on and then sew. You don't just what I'm saying, that's what you want to do is sew it after.
So if we do the sew, it's just, there's pros and cons, but one of the biggest reasons I want to be able to sew is just for the stitching. And
Well, as you can see, we got it here going. It is working and playing. What did you do to the pins?
Okay, so, and it could be your games that need cleaned also. So, like, you can see that one works. See, so as long as I hold it, I can get this one to work. But see how, as I move it, see how it's losing connection? See that?
Yeah.
So it's definitely dirty in here, but let me show you. This is a connector from another NES, and if you look, this is probably the main reason these don't work. So if you can look in here and see how crusty and dirty these pins get, and they're really hard to clean. And it's not so much this side is hard to, you can clean that, but this other side, they sit way back in there. You can see those, and you can't get in there to really clean them. And this is where the games go. The games go right in here. And if these are dirty, they're really, as you can see, if you can, I don't know if you can zoom in on that. It's this, not this side. This side, these are the same. This goes on the board. This is where the, let me show you this one. This is where the game goes in right here. Yeah, see those? See how rusty and
It's hard to get back into there.
Well, these are the ones you could clean. These are the ones, so what I did is I bent these up. I took this little, let me see if I can kind of show you, a little pair of tweezers. You could use a little knife or something. And I was able to just put it in behind these pins and just bend them up a little bit, and this is what allowed us to make that one work.
So what's the solution then? The quick solution?
So the quick solution is to buy these. So if you want to buy them from, this is AliExpress, sometimes you can get free shipping, but if you look at these, here's a brand new one. This is the one they sell on Amazon for like 10 bucks. So you can get them on Amazon for somewhere around 10 bucks. These are them right here. These are brand new. Get them on Amazon or eBay for around 10 bucks, or get them here for $4.50. That's it. They just slide right on, right off. Can you see that? And it's got it on both sides. So it makes contact on both sides. If these get crusty, so these need to be cleaned. And then if you just buy these new, I just don't think you're ever going to be able to clean these good enough. You may get them to work on and off like I was just doing, but to get them to work solid, I don't think you can get into here to clean these good enough. So these just slide on just like that. So they're really easy to fix, easy to replace, and very cheap. Taking this apart, we've cleaned this board, the connectors on the board. We put a new pin connector in, and we've cleaned the game really well. And as you can see, we're still getting this blinking red light. Now, sometimes if we move the game around, we can get the game to work. See, we're at the same point again. Okay. If you look, can you zoom in on this?
Yep.
Okay, so if you look at this chip right here, this is the lockout chip. It says 3193A right here. You can see it's by these three capacitors. So what you have is, this is pin 1 with the little dot. Count in 4 pins. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. This pin right here, what we're going to do is we're going to pull this out, and it's going to disable this lockout chip. And by doing that, it should get rid of this red blinking light. So there's some kind of problem. Either the chip's going bad, but we've got 3 of these that are doing the exact same thing, and I'll show you. This one here, we just disabled the lockout chip. Works every time.
Try another game.
And this was, we were having the exact same problem with this one as we were with this one. We could get it to work if we maneuvered the game around. And now, it's every time.
I think another thing too you got to keep in mind is you got to make sure your games are clean, because we have a whole stack of games that we have cleaned, but we got 1 or 2 that we haven't cleaned yet, and they don't read every time. But after we've cleaned the games, they read every single time.
Okay, so it's this 4th pin right here. And I'm just using a little pair of tweezers. All I'm going to do is pry that out. Can you zoom in on that? Okay, so that you can see that pin separated from the board.
Hold on. It's focusing on the letters. Oh, there we go. Yep.
Okay, let's put this back together a little bit and see if it works.
It's freaking it, man.
Okay, so now you can see that disabling that lockout chip, the games are working almost every time. Some of these games are still probably dirty, but we couldn't get them to work.
So if you have replaced the pin connector, you've cleaned everything, you've cleaned the games, and it's still not working, but you can get them to work sometimes by wiggling the cartridge, it's probably that lockout chip.
And you can't get new chips to replace that. So the only thing you can do is disable them.
I think the first thing that I would start with, though, is the pin connectors. Because the original pin connectors that we had in these, they were really gross, weren't they? Rusted.
Yeah, corroded. There's rust in them. They're just old. It happens. So the new ones, they slide on real easy. These are really easy to work with. We're testing these without screwing any of this down. So everything's in here is really loose. I think once you screw it all down, get everything tight, everything's going to line up better. So but you can see that's pretty much fixed the problem.
So that's it. We were able to fix all three of these NESs. They all had the same issue of, well, we changed the pin connectors, we cleaned them, we're still having issues with them, and then we just fixed the lockout chip. So, and I think that lockout chip, doesn't it? What does it allow you? You can play unlicensed games on it.
Yeah. Yep. So they have a chip in the game. Nintendo did. And that chip has to communicate with this lockout chip, and if it doesn't, to show that it's an authentic game, and if it doesn't, then it just keeps blinking. So once you disable the lockout chip, you can play those games, but also it'll help you to play games that are dirty too. So there you have it. There's the fix. Hope it helps everybody.
3 for 3.